There we go. I found it. I found the best animated GIF I've ever made in my life. That's a blast from the past there.
Which GIF is that?
You're gonna have to go look at the stream, McDohl, and you'll see it, and you're like, oh, I'm glad Bricker still has that on his desktop.
Is it Bonk Man?
It's not Bonk Man. Oh man, Bonk Man. Okay, this is the second best animated GIF. I got it on Bonk
And
Man.
it's pretty easy to find because it's like a Web 1.0 Planescape website.
Right. I confused a lot of people by putting Bonk Man on the screen that day. They're like, why is this here? Speaking of why is this here? Why are you here? Where are you guys on this? I don't see where you're...
Yeah, where are
Everywhere.
our tokens at?
Oh, you guys are spread all over the place, it looks
So,
like.
like, my token's here.
Oh, hey,
Like-
there we are.
We just kind of, at the end of the last one, we stopped.
Yeah, we were wandering around a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's fine.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
kind
we're
of just,
gonna-
like, stopped. Why don't we just... I'll put my token
Yeah,
in the
let's
middle here.
back to the middle here.
That way, and then we could just... we could position ourselves if we institute combat.
So you had found 2 of the tokens that you need out of the 5 that you need, and you found the hallway that had the portals in it once you have
Yes.
the keys that you need. Edmont's key is lighting a long-handled cigarette, and Ekon's key is a bitter complaint spoken with indignation. You were still looking for Jeannie, Orson, and Victor's portal keys, and then you can be done with this dungeon.
So so with Ekon's key, that says to me that it may in fact not even be something physical.
Ekon's is not, in fact.
We did actually get word from Air that we are carrying keys, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we have not identified as keys. Like, that is a thing that happened. So, do we want to go through what we're carrying? And
I feel like we might have done that already once we got that answer.
okay, we could actually, I think probably what we should do is just wait till, if we have to do a long rest, we could do the, play the yes no game with Air again.
That's a ritual, but it has a chance. It's like
I
if
said
cast
after a
it
long rest.
multiple times on each day, it
Yeah.
gets more and more unreliable.
Right. Which is why I said after a rest. Because this is not a place we want to be lied to. I feel,
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So
All right.
where would we like to check out next?
I think the art gallery was on our list of stuff to scrutinize a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we thoroughly checked the mirror room. We checked the bedroom area. The horseman, I think we fully checked. So there's the ASMR, the art room. We did the treasure thing where I think somebody found something.
Oh yeah, Jeannie found a slot machine. That was funny.
I got something from that slot machine, and I don't...
Found a one-armed bandit.
Oh no, where is my... Sorry, I'm looking for my
Was it
note.
a fruit?
I honestly forget what it was.
I will go back and watch the video to find that out.
You had
Uh,
found a clue that
Right, a
reads,
clue. It was a piece of paper with a note, and I...
Yeah, we've gotten a bunch of those.
Do you
Yeah,
Yeah, we
hear?
found a few of those notes.
Do you hear music? Do you hear nothing?
Do you hear music? I'm gonna write that down on my...
I've got all these written down. I've got, have you stood before the king? Do you hear music? Do you hear nothing? Can you climb? Can you stand upon your head?
Yeah, we have to go back to the gravity room.
Let's check the art gallery first.
Yeah.
What happened when we actually went through the rigmarole of waiting for an audience with the king?
That's
Uh,
how I got my key. It was,
That's how he got his key.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
So that one's
I'm
done.
catching up. I'm catching up.
So we have two, and then 2 clues. So we're missing 2 clues. So
Well, we do need a key for the 4 of us, plus Orson and plus
Beldross.
Beldross, as I recall.
That's what I mean. Is like we have 2 keys. We have 2 clues for keys.
One of those clues is what led us to one of the keys we have now. So really, we have kind of one clue.
And I'm pretty sure that the letter that Jeannie found was in her hand, and the one Victor found was in his hand. Is that correct?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. So
So we can go check the art gallery. You want to do the art gallery in the ASMR room and then go to the gravity room?
So, the gravity room is the only thing we found that is
Well, there's a clue for that one.
right. It has been we assume it's for that one.
It's the only one that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
makes sense that we go that way, I think, to start with today.
Okay.
all right. So
Gravity room, I believe, is on the map to the south of this.
Yes, it sure
Place.
is. Let's make sure that I load up the correct one.
Okay. So I had shot I had shot 2 arrows to the ceilings above these like zappy balls that are on the top of these pillars.
And the arrows that you shot are still laying around up there.
Yeah.
So, what is the exact wording of the clue?
Can
you
you
stand on your
climb?
head? Is that the one we think is relevant to here?
Can you climb? Can you stand upon your head? So something's going to be on the ceiling, and we know that once you get up on the ceiling, the only way to get down is to go through the super spiky corridors.
Which is a climbing room, right? Like they have wall climbing faces.
Correct.
If I recall.
Looks
correctly.
similar to a climbing wall, but it's also covered in jagged spikes and horribleness. Like actually climbing upon it, pressing your body against it, and hoisting yourself up is going to be an arduous journey. Hoisting yourself down, I guess, is more correct to say.
Yeah, so Victor is going to do the rope trick again.
What was the rope trick?
Throwing the rope up so that it becomes an anti-gravity rope.
Okay. Yeah, it does that. You're holding the other end of the anti-gravity rope.
How am
I think
doing
you.
for
I
health?
think you need to be upside down for this, Victor.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm concerned as to the because those things arced when the arrow passed near them.
Yeah, so
going up there is probably going to be dangerous.
so my idea is we have Orson hold this end of the rope, and then Victor can climb up the rope and go upside down, and then explore the ceiling. And then to get down, he can climb down the rope. We can go into the room and hit the buttons, and that will change gravity back.
So where's Orson positioned when you're doing this?
I guess. Here.
So
Are you gonna go through the static charge?
yeah, Victor's gonna climb the rope up to the ceiling past the static charge area.
And when you do that, they zap you, and you are now standing upon the ceiling of the room. There are 2 arrows at your feet.
Pick them up. See how heavy they are.
Yeah, Victor will go retrieve the arrows. Those are valuable.
They're Edmont's arrows.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like
they go along.
they're not like heavy, are they? It's just like
I mean, they want to fall to the ceiling.
when we were pulling stuff down, it was like we had to struggle a little bit.
Well, that would be like you're pulling something from 50 feet below you.
Yeah, but anyway.
So yeah, so Victor's going to go investigate the ceiling and the walls of this room up at the top.
It's moving around the ceiling of this room is actually difficult because it's vaulted from the 4 corners. So you're like, if you're moving towards the edges of the room, you're functionally climbing uphill.
Climbing up the wall.
It's like going up a steep wheelchair access.
So
Once Victor gets inverted, Edmont is going to do the same. He's going to kick off.
How much do Victor's boots of flying help with the inverted factor? Like, can I fly upside down, basically?
Do you make the attempt? I like the visual shorthand for I'm upside down.
Yeah, Victor's gonna try and float a little bit.
Victor, give me an acrobatics check.
It's gonna be an 18. I'm sorry, 20.
20. 3 points of bludgeoning damage, which you can cut in half with the successful acrobatics check. As you fly, maybe 15 or 20 feet off the ceiling of the room down towards your companions as Edmont is... How is Edmont descending? Up the rope?
Yeah.
Okay. And after that, your flight just fails you, and you fall back to the ceiling. You manage to tumble and only take, what was it, a single point of damage?
Yeah, it rids throughout the party.
So flying is just a no-go in this area.
So I can fly like 10 feet fine, but anything above that gets dangerous.
It's probably less to do with height and more to do with you attempting to fly at all. Like, attempting to fly at all with movement is going to incur damage.
Okay. So yeah, so Victor's gonna go investigate the top part of the room.
Okay. You have access to this door from the ceiling.
And then these two.
Well, these are labeled, as I recall. Let me double check. Yeah, both of these areas down here were labeled secret door here, but they're both at the ground level. So, Victor, you cannot access them from the ceiling.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
Is there any
Edmont
sort of-
will head over toward the. So you said it's full floor to ceiling.
Yep.
Genie, open it up.
Yeah, I'll open it for them.
You pull the drawstring and open the curtain so Edmont can get in. What's Victor doing down here?
Victor's gonna search for secret doors at the top.
Give me a perception check.
I didn't even think about that. That's...
If a 20 is not good enough.
20 is fine.
Okay.
But as you approach, lo and behold, you find a secret door at the top in exactly the same spot as its corresponding door at the bottom. But this one, rude, is not labeled.
So rude. Does it open?
Yeah, you open it up and you're in the top of the shaft. So when you go into this room, the walls are the climbing walls covered in spikities and damaging elements, and then you see the big button all the way down at the bottom that you cannot reach from here.
Is there a button at the top?
No, that would be convenient.
It would be. So Victor's gonna go check the other door while Edmont goes and explores that room.
Yeah, it's the other same thing on the other side. Edmont, coming
Sir.
into this room, you have this circular shaft in the middle of the room that goes all the way up to the ceiling. So from your perspective, you're looking out at the room and you see the circular shaft rising overhead. There's a couple feet of clearance between the bottom of the shaft and the ceiling where you're walking, which you could probably squeeze up under it.
So there's a pillar in the middle of this room.
Yes.
Right.
And you could squeeze down underneath it because you're walking upon the ceiling.
Before I do that, I'm gonna peer down below it. Get kind of on my stomach and look underneath it before crawling underneath it.
When you do that, you see that it's not a solid pillar at all, but rather a long, narrow tube. The entire inside circumference. Can I say inside circumference? Is that... The entire inside area is also covered with very dangerous looking spikities, jaggedness, and other assorted "this will damage you if you attempt to climb it" features.
Edmont winces when he sees the spikes and calls calls down to Genie
What you need?
and lets her know that that's what's in here. You got any more irresponsible vortex warps?
No, I don't have an irresponsible amount of vortex warps. I do have a few I could spare, though.
Okay, because here's my thought: is if I get into trouble while climbing up this thing,
Okay.
I need you to be able to poof me outside. I think you might need to get on the ceiling here.
If you need to be able to see your target to vortex warp, then yes, Genie would have to be on the ceiling.
All right.
Can you shatter the spikes?
So Genie climbs up the rope. Orson's like, you guys could have done this with a hook, like just hammer a spike into the floor. And no, I'll just stand here. It's fine. Genie.
Yeah, Wilson, if you want to tie it off.
Genie flew up there. She didn't fly. She didn't.
Oh, Genie flew, did she? Genie, give me an acrobatics check.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit, get hit.
It's like it's less. It's a 9.
It's a 9, 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you learn the lesson that we just learned.
As the strength of the party is eroded.
No sooner do you leave the floor and you're flying up towards where you assume the gravity plane is, you come crashing back down as your flight fails you. Didn't we lose a familiar in this room the same way?
I think we did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we did.
something like that.
Genie doesn't
Yeah.
pay attention. Shush.
Edmont will crawl and then start climbing.
Okay.
I
Edmont,
am-
So,
you've got a good 100 feet to climb.
okay.
How much climbing can you do in a single round? If you don't have a climb speed, that is, you're moving at half speed.
Okay.
If you do have a climb speed, you can move at your full speed.
So I can my movement speed is 50. I can, so that's 25 plus a dash plus a key point would make that 75.
Okay. So you can get 75 feet down the wall in one move.
Yeah.
Would his wall running avail him here?
There's not enough space inside the tube.
Okay, all right.
Fair enough.
Picture like a long manhole kind of situation.
Yeah. I can get 70. I can get 75 feet down there
Okay.
in one
moment.
in one 6-second period.
So the end of the first round of movement. 12 points of slashing damage
Ow.
from the spikities and other things. Like, there's plenty of handholds to climb with, but it's not a ladder. It's not uniform. And so at any point where your arm or your torso or your neck or the side of your face has to brace against the wall for any reason, you are slashing yourself to ribbons. And then the second round of movement, you're able to clear the other 25 feet, no problem. Is that correct?
Thank you, brother, for that spell.
Yep.
When you get to the bottom, there is a small case, inside of which is an ivory theater mask.
Is that all that's in there?
It's all that's in there.
What's down there?
Pick up the theater mask.
Okay. The theater mask feels really bizarre when you pick it up because you expect a theater mask to be convex on one side and concave on the other. However, this mask is concave on both sides somehow. On one side, looking at it, it has the big smile, and when you turn it around, it has the big frown.
Okay, comedy tragedy, got it. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and then, yeah, you know what?
Can he get back
I
down
think-
without cutting himself?
If he drops, yeah.
Okay, cool. I was gonna vortex warp him if the answer was no.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll drop.
That's gonna do a lot more damage than climbing. You're gonna
All
fall.
right,
You're gonna fall 100 feet.
Here's what I'm gonna do:
Yeah.
25 feet to move,
Okay.
another 25 feet for a dash, and then drop.
And then
50
drop.
feet. Yeah.
So, okay. I think that's still more damage than you would have taken climbing.
Yeah, don't you have like some balling thing?
Yeah. Do you have the slow fall?
I do.
Okay. You should probably tell me that you're using it then.
Yeah, I am absolutely using it because it does take a reaction, homie.
So what does that do?
I reduce fall damage by 5 times my monk level.
Okay.
So like
19 points of bludgeoning damage from the fall.
You had to deal 60 in order to get past that.
So you just laying back down on the ceiling, only slightly worse for wear, holding this magical theater mask.
Jeannie looks at it and she says, "I've never seen something in my entire life that was more Victor than that right there."
Let me see that.
Yeah, Edmont crawls out, stands up, hands the mask to Victor.
Victor, make me a wisdom check.
Straight wisdom, no skill.
No skill.
Well, that's gonna be a 12.
12? It's better than Orson did. Yeah, holding this theater mask, you definitely understand the connection with it. You were holding a portal key.
Victor will try and put it over his face, see if it does anything.
Which side?
The smiling side.
You put it on, and now you're wearing a smiling theater mask.
How do I look?
Definitely not
Jackass.
you, but.
Oh, by the way,
Watch
we're
me
getting
over here.
terrible thunderstorms right now.
Oh,
So
good.
Yeah.
if you hear the rumbling or if I suddenly drop off the face of the earth, you know what happened.
That will be distressing.
Yeah,
It-
especially.
It's happened before. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
keep you guys appraised. We were supposed to get like tornadoes and stuff last night, and then we didn't get anything.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah, the
muddy
mon-
over here.
Steps out of the chamber, slides down the vaulted ceiling. All right, so how do we do this? You reckon, cousin?
Orson, bring the rope.
Yep, that's why there's a rope. Basically, bring the rope in here, climb down. The thing is, we gotta hit both buttons at the same time, so who's still on the bottom?
Orson and Ekon by my.
Yeah, so then what we're gonna want to do is, where's the lowest part of the ceiling at?
Well,
Like
when
on
you
the
go into this room, you'll have about 50 feet of climbing from floor to ceiling inside of the smaller room with the buttons.
Okay, but on the outside of the room, because only one person's gonna be probably climbing down the rope. So for the other two of us, where's the spot where we would take the least fall damage when gravity changes?
Oh, I don't. It's going to be 50 feet inside the room, and that's probably the same thing outside the room, too, because it's vaulted upward from there.
Do we have any more ropes? Anybody else got a rope?
Shouldn't there be some in the bag?
Probably.
I have no rope on me.
Jeannie is not carrying the usual equipment she normally carries. So,
Ekon, do you got a rope?
I don't think so.
she's got her pack is literally stuffed with 2 mirrors, her dead body, and then as much wood still as she could carry.
That is the worst inventory screen I've seen since Problem Sleuth.
Okay, so with the spikes in these column rooms, like where do the spikes start? Ground level?
So the thing is, you're going to have to climb down or climb up. The terminology is going to have to be iffy here. You're going to have to climb towards the button. When you end your movement, you're going to take damage at that point.
Even if we're on the rope in the middle of the room?
No, that's if you're climbing the wall. If you're climbing the rope, you're just going to make a strength check to make sure you don't let go of the rope.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna fail a strength check.
It's going to be an athletics check.
You're
Fail it.
on, but Destil, you're on the ground, so you're fine.
Yeah, you're on the ground. You're fine.
No, the idea is that if the three of us, since we only have one rope, if the three of us climb down the rope and kind of hang out at the bottom, and then you and Orson step on the buttons, we're all gonna fall on top of Orson, but that's better than falling 50 feet.
Okay.
So the three of you, let me see if I got this right. Here, you know what? We're going to visualize this.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to draw you guys a little rope. You like that?
Okay.
Very nice rope.
Thank you. I've spent all day on it. And at the bottom of the rope, which you guys are climbing towards, is this hand has to move. Get out of there. This hand has to move. What are you doing? There. So who is closest to the button? Go ahead and place yourself there.
All right, so Orson is
He's standing at the button.
he's standing at the button holding the rope.
Okay.
All right.
And then, so Victor's saying that all three of you are going to climb down as far as you can along the rope.
And it's 50 feet, right?
It's 50 feet.
All right. So a
Well, that's Edmont. Edmont could just fall from the other room and probably be fine.
That's why I wasn't going to be involved in this.
All right. So Edmont's in this room, then, right?
Okay, go ahead and place yourself there. Edmont.
Jeannie is going to cast Kinetic Jaunt on herself
Okay.
to increase her walking speed
So,
by 10 feet.
Victor, if you don't have a climb speed, you've got to climb this rope at half speed. So, absent some way to give yourself a climb speed, I need to know how much rope you can climb in one round.
That would be 30 feet of normal movement, and then 30 feet of dash would be 60 total. Plus teleport.
Oh.
Psychic teleport.
Oh, actually, you know what? I'm not gonna cast it. I'm not gonna cast anything. I'm good. I'm just gonna stand here.
Can
the
you
button whenever-
teleport to a rope? Does it specify you have to teleport to a space you can see?
So it specifies, let me pull up the actual wording from the book.
Yes, the wording on those can get very specific.
I know that the intent is always that you're not allowed to teleport into just open air. But this
Yeah.
isn't open air, this is a rope. Like, this is a destination. So I'm inclined to allow it unless the wording of the class feature specifically says it has to be, like, solid ground.
Like Vortex Warp.
So it says, as a bonus action, you manifest one of your psychic blades, expend one psionic energy die and roll it, and throw the blade at an unoccupied space you can see up to a number of feet away equal to 10 times the number rolled. When you teleport to that space, the blade then vanishes.
Okay, I'm inclined to allow you to use that to teleport to a rope. I don't see why it wouldn't work. I mean, if I was a dick, I'd make him roll it to hit roll against the rope, and then if he misses, he just doesn't grab onto it and he falls
He
again.
goes
Well,
sliding
the
into the
other way-
spikes.
The other way would be to just like teleport to the floor.
No, I'm inclined to just let you have it, because it just says a space you can see, and the rope counts as a space you can see. It's not empty space, there's a rope through it.
Yep.
All right, so you're going to climb up as high as you can and then teleport the rest of the way up, right? So you're only ending one turn on the rope.
Yes.
Not two. So all I need then is a strength athletics check to make sure you can hold the rope once you get to the top and end your turn there.
Oof.
Oh, thank God for what's it called though? Athletics. I am proficient in that, so that's gonna be a 15.
15 is fine. So you get to the top, and you have a weird moment where you come out of the teleport and you realize, oh, I've got to grab this rope. You hug it with your arms and legs, and you don't slide down very much. But you now have, I mean, or you're right there face to face with Orton. You're kind of staring right at his groin, if I'm being honest. And you've got the
Genie
button
yells.
right overhead.
Nice package.
Genie yells to for them to hit the buttons.
Well, who's hitting this button in here?
Ekon.
Ekon.
Oh, is that where? Yeah. Sorry, I was
Yeah.
on the horizontal map, not the vertical map.
Ekon, when you hit the button, absolutely nothing happens. Who's hitting this other button?
Orson.
Orson.
When Orson hits the button, absolutely nothing happens.
They gotta hit them at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that happened. I'm assuming you guys counted 1, 2, 3, go. And then you tried that a couple of times, and absolutely nothing happened.
Guys.
We have a problem.
Does that mean one of us, the upside down people, have to hit it?
Victor will try and push the button with his arm. He'll like reach out.
Victor, you reach up and push the button, and you immediately feel the gravity reverse. You collapse to the floor on top of it.
So Genie doesn't.
Genie.
Oh crap!
So I can teleport 60 feet in dim light. Can I catch the rope similar to how Victor did?
As long as the class feature doesn't specify it has to be a solid ground, which I think yours might.
I think mine
Just
does.
double check, and if it doesn't, then I'm fine with it.
Can you just teleport to the ceiling and try to hit it before you fall the other way?
The
That's
ceiling
what
doesn't
I'm
count
looking
as a
at.
space you can see. Because that's open air.
Yeah,
There's
because
nothing there.
I remember when we were inside the stupid tree that we spent like 2 hours trying to get out of, where I was failing so many athletics checks.
That dungeon's called the Stupid Tree, is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
I always think of the
It's
tree
pretty
dungeon
separate.
in Beyond the Beyond, which is the best PlayStation 1 RPG.
Let's see. Shadow Step. You gain the ability to, when you're in dim light or darkness, as a bonus action, you can teleport up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see that is also in dim light or darkness.
Okay, so as long as nobody's illuminating the bottom of the rope where you want to teleport to, I would allow you to use that to teleport to a rope.
Yeah. Okay, then that's what I will do, and then once I've struck the once I'm to the end of the building, I'll hit the button.
That's great, but there's no rope in this room, so
Oh, fair enough.
I mean, we could move the rope back and forth. It's not a big deal. Or you could just come in here and do it. As Genie's like looking at it, like, how am I going to do this?
yeah, Edmont, Assuming there's no light source up in the top of the room. You manage to teleport yourself up, grab hold of the rope, reach down, touch the button, and you collapse to the floor on top of the button.
Yay!
And now it's Genie's turn.
Once you pull the rope down, you can grab the rope and wrap it around yourself, and we can just pull you down.
Oh, okay, yeah, no. Genie ties the rope to her waist
Okay.
and just like
It's just
waits.
wee business. Orson can pull her down.
I'm gonna call that.
Honestly, you're right.
I'm gonna call that 2 strength athletics checks on Orson's
Victor's
part.
going to help Orson.
Then he can make those 2 checks at advantage.
Okay, all right. That was almost bad, but it wasn't. So, that is the wrong party sheet. That is the party sheet from Flumph Inc. Why is
God.
that at the top of my list?
That's
Let's see, athletics. So that would be 4 plus 4, so that's an 8. So 21 for the first one.
okay. Do you ever just open up the old party sheets and be like, "Oh man, that campaign was so much better"?
That is a 26.
So no problem. Just hand over hand, Genie reels you in like a balloon.
Like, yeah, and then she pushes the button.
And when you push the button, both you fall to the ground on top of the button, and then the whole rope kind of coils in behind you.
Victor puts his rope back in his bag.
Very good.
All right.
So that's anti-gravity?
Yep.
Good job, team.
That's standing on your head, you think?
Well, we got something, so we can go check it if we want, or we can go explore a different room.
No, I'm pretty sure that's Victor's clue.
Yeah. Alright, so this is where we got the cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is death.
Yep.
This
Yeah.
is part of that room. So I think this area is probably clear, and we want to go back and look in the other area.
I'm gonna put a check mark on this.
Go ahead and make any adjustments to this map you want to make, and then I'll save it.
So, we
The other question is, what about this side with the pseudo dragons? We never actually like.
That's not connected to this area mentally in Ekon's model of the place. There's a different way to get there.
yeah we have
Yeah.
that hall. Like, your familiar came this way.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure how this connects, but like I've
It
been.
connects back to the area with the water and
Yeah.
the fountains.
Do we want to try and go through into this room while we're on this map? Do we want to like poke our head into this room from this side and see what happens?
You get smaller.
I forget what happens if we go on from that side, but
Oh,
I like
it's
that.
labeled here as bigulate and debigulate.
Not from these two entrances. Coming around from this side.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think we've actually tried that.
Yeah.
Is that the next move?
Yeah. At the very least, examine the door. Make sure. See if there's any
Someone
markings.
who can teleport should do that though, because what happens if you can't move across that entire room on the bigulate side without getting stuck?
Yeah. I've already tried that.
I don't know what would happen if you went through on the debigulate side. Eventually, you'd fall into the space between space, and that doesn't seem good.
You end up as you end up in the Marvel in the MCU.
Oh no.
Like they actually answered that.
Like the
in
only
last
thing
movie.
in here is the pillars, right? Like in the pseudo dragons.
Yeah, that's the only thing we saw.
It seems more to me like a traversal puzzle than a place to hide a key. But we could investigate the pillars a little bit more in depth.
You guys blew up most of the fairy dragons also.
Oh, we only blew up 2 of them.
You blew up
No,
4
we
of
blew
them.
up
4.
Oh, okay.
Square cube law, my dude.
I had to on the fly figure out how to do a bigulated fireball. So are we heading back into the fairy dragon room from this door?
Yeah, I think we just want to like look at the door and like see if it has it.
oh, we check it out and then check it off.
Nothing special about the door from what you can see.
Okay. Because these have like mosaics or whatever on them, and
These 2 down here do not.
All right. Does the door open?
Yeah, it opens up.
Okay. Genie pokes her head in and yells at the fairy dragons, "Sorry I blew up your friends."
They don't understand Darkanese, probably.
Well, I mean, it makes me feel better.
They are definitely grieving for their lost friends.
Yeah. I mean, they're just
You
constructs
monster.
of this. They're constructs of this place. They don't have feelings.
Well, everything is a construct of the place except for the fairy dragons. They were totally real.
Don't believe that because we went into the other room and there was fairy dragon pieces, game pieces.
So you fell for my misdirection.
A classic blunder.
What's next?
All right. I think we're done with this map for now.
Kind of think so. Well, wait.
Yeah.
So, like, there's no, we've confirmed there's no size effect coming through on this side.
Nobody's gone into the room. Jeannie opened the
Oh.
door and poked her head in.
Is my head smaller?
No. Dude, that would suck.
Well, who wants to? Yeah, screw it. Victor steps through.
Okay, you step through and you are now standing in the room.
Victor will take a couple steps in the middle of it.
Okay, you take a couple steps into the middle of the room.
We will admire the charred destruction that Genie has wrought.
Yeah, this room's horrible now. This used to be a nice looking room.
So Victor will take another couple steps and then go back out and see if he's changed size.
He is the same size as he was when he entered.
Okay.
Okay. Victor's going to go look at one of the cages.
And inside is a terrified fairy dragon that presses itself up against the far back wall of the cage to get away from you as much as possible.
How those fairy dragons survived?
Victor's going to open the cage.
Okay, you do that.
He doesn't. I mean, he has a little bit of dried meat. He's going to hold out a little bit of dried meat from one of the ration packs.
No, absolutely not. This guy's going through a pretty awful trauma response at seeing his 4 roommates incinerated with the world's biggest fireball.
Victor will make a sad face that resembles the map or the mask and put the meat down, and then I guess we're going to leave.
He just turned the mask to the other side.
Genie, if we get sick of this place, you and I should both stand in front of the bigulator door, choose a point literally as far away as we can target, and throw simultaneous fireballs through this room. If we ever decide we're done with the maze,
just for scientific purposes, I can go.
just
ahead.
for fuck this maze.
No,
I would really much rather you not
Ekon,
detonate
don't
this
use a
entire
fireball.
construct of our own.
Use a wall of fire.
Oh
So,
God.
Like that would
Fireball's
actually
a larger effect.
that would be a very interesting like math problem, right? So like as you
What?
shoot it
How
through the
big does a
door-
fireball have to be before the universe breaks?
Well, yeah, like how long?
How
Like
big does a fireball have to be before the relativistic properties of it would be confined by the expansion of space-time?
So let's say like there, like I know you didn't like do the math on this, but let's say like every pillar doubles the size of the fireball. Like how big is that explosion? Because I shot in the middle of the room, right?
Right.
So at what point? No. Okay. All right. All right, Mom.
Make sure to save this map again, so when you come back to it, you'll know that McDohl told you no. Where to now?
Gallery?
Yeah, gallery.
Yeah. Did we run? We haven't run into anywhere that had music.
Except for the whole dungeon.
But yeah,
It seems like music and the gallery would go together, maybe.
But then also, this was making ambient noise as well.
Yeah, gallery maybe.
Treble, if every pillar doubles the radius of the fireball, then at the exit of that room, it would span 2.5 times 10 to the 17th miles.
Do it.
Don't.
it's a nuclear blast, man.
Please refer to my previous my previous note on the other map, Burkhardt. If you need to pull that up to remind them what that was, by all means.
Well, that's how the campaign ends. Well,
That
you
is
know
a
what?
bigger blast than like detonating every
That's
nuclear weapon in every
17,000
stock.
light years.
Oh, okay, yeah, no.
Yeah, 10 to 17 is a big number.
Like it spills over into Sigil.
The signal gets uncommonly hot that day. Going back to the
That's
art
like
gallery.
a corner of the galaxy.
That's funny.
So we can try and turn the music off and then go in the ASMR room. Or you guys want to
That
do the
is
gallery?
probably a good idea. Yeah, let's do that.
What is the exact wording, Destil, on that? No.
Can you hear music? Can you hear nothing?
Okay.
I guess the other thing to do is there anywhere else we think we might be able to find some more clues?
We didn't really explore the gallery because people
Yeah.
got
We took
sad.
And
about
also,
it.
we haven't figured out what's the deal is with your hand and how it's a key now.
Well,
But we definitely can't fix it. Air told me.
no, he told you that like fixing it will not get us out of here.
No, he told me fixing it would trap us in here forever.
I need DM clarification on that, please.
My question was, can we leave this place if we restore Genie's hand, which got a resounding no?
So I think you must have asked that after Evie found her portal key.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time, that answer was accurate. Because if you had tried to leave, or if you tried to fix it at that point, there's no way into that room without somebody absorbing that key where Evie's portal key was hidden.
Mm. Okay.
I see.
Let me see if Restoration's on my spell list yet.
I mean, I could just fashion a new arm. Like I
Yeah,
literally.
tomorrow I can Restoration you.
Okay.
Or regenerate, I should say. We'd have to chop it off and then regenerate it.
It regenerates back into another key.
Except this one's just like made of skin. It's real
Well, then
gross.
we'd have
No.
the key and your hand, which seems
No.
like a win-win.
No, Brick Road. No. No. No.
Do we have an axe or something?
Uh,
I guess I have
okay.
surgical equipment with my medicine skill and my healer's kit.
Ekon pulls out this giant bone saw.
Yeah, Ekon definitely has a bone saw now that I think about it.
Orson has like a giant polearm, doesn't he?
I don't think stabbing is the way to get a hand off.
Are we taking a minute to sever Genie's limb?
No, I have to
and then-
prepare the spell tomorrow. So.
Oh, okay.
No. All right. So yeah, let's deactivate the music and then go into the ASMR rooms.
Okay.
Okay.
So room number 9 is where you heard the various animal sounds. But the room itself is unadorned. Room number 8 is where you heard the sounds of
That's
ocean, the waves clapping against the ground, and various seabirds and things. And in the south corner of the room is an empty basin.
Is there any source of water or anything?
No.
I have some water. Victor
I
will-
guess fill it
Oh,
up with it. Yeah, we have it.
Yeah, Victor. Yeah, we have infinity water.
Okay.
Victor's gonna try and pour some water from the decanter into the basin.
Where are the other party members when you're doing this?
Where's my stamp? See, I will be
Oh.
here.
I mean, there you go.
Okay, let's be stupid.
Victor.
Yeah.
At first, nothing happens. You fill the basin, and it fills up. And now there's a basin filled with water from your decanter. Do you overfill it? Like, do you keep going? Or are you done?
Victor will look to the others.
You're at the point
there
now
any
where it's
change?
dripping down over the edge.
Is there any change to the sound?
Give me a perception check.
Hang on, I've got like 20 tabs open. I need to clean. I haven't done my morning tab
need-
cleanup yet.
You need to close 18 tabs, or I'm gonna be mad at you.
Perception is a 9.
9,
Can
okay?
if he
Oh,
brings
shit.
it out loud, can we all make that check?
Yeah, you can each individually make that. That's fine.
What kind of check was it?
Perception.
Perception.
Thank you.
Yep, doing my tab cleanup right now.
That's a 29 for Victor.
16 for Ekon.
That is a 21 for Genie.
Okay, so listening to the sounds, the animal sounds, the seabirds and whatnot, especially, sound about the same, but the sounds of the waves crashing against the shore seem closer and more vivid now that the basin is full.
Edmont reaches out, tilts the decanter backward away.
Well, Victor's already stopped pouring at this point.
Okay.
He poured until the basin was completely full, and then you guys took a moment to listen to the sounds, and that's what happened.
Yeah, Edmont's gonna step back, and then he's gonna walk into the other.
And the sounds change from beach sounds to wilderness and animal sounds.
Come back in here.
Is there anything in there that could be filled up?
No, that room is completely unadorned.
What happens if we overflow? You think the waves will come into the room?
Ekon's gonna try a gull call.
A gull call?
Yeah, like if I was trying to attract seagulls.
Okay.
I have a nature of +2. Do I have to roll it to figure out what a seagull would be attracted to?
French fries.
I mean, you guys lived on the lake for about a year.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
No, you let out a gull call, and everybody hears it. Seagulls do not show up, though.
Okay.
What's next?
Seagull's gonna come. Poke you in the coconut.
Oh, no. I showed my wife that, and she died, and now she's dead.
Why'd you kill his wife, Treble?
It wasn't Treble's fault. Like, we found it years ago.
It is years old, and it makes me feel old. Anyway, okay. So the wave sound, or so are they just? Is it just kind of like ambient wave sounds? They're coming from like everywhere.
They specifically sound like wave sounds as though you're standing upon a beach. Like the waves clapping against the shoreline.
But what I'm asking is, are they coming from a specific direction?
No.
Okay, all right, cool. Jeannie's gonna walk up and she's going to tip the decanter of water back in there and overflow it.
Okay. You're not doing it from that space.
Okay. Well,
Treble grabs every option.
That should be on our bingo card.
Treble grabs all of the things.
Victor and Jeannie.
well, Victor is. Let's say that Victor stepped away because I don't want him to. Because he had to step away from the.
Oh, okay.
So he's back here. So just Jeannie.
Jeannie, I need a strength saving throw.
That is a. It's a big 9.
Big 9. You are knocked prone
Okay.
and take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. As a rolling wave, as though off the ocean, crashes into you, pushes you backwards, and the room itself changes slightly. Everything south of this blue line is now ocean waves rolling in. Where you all are standing, up to your knees or so, all of a sudden you find yourself buried in wet, beachy sand. And here and there, throughout the room, I'm going to use a different color for this, I think, because blue matches them. Oh, here we go, hot pink. Here and there throughout the room, you see beach chairs, umbrellas, sitting near to the sand. However, the sand is piled up so highly that you can no longer access these 2 doors. Jeannie, you lost the decanter when you were pushed away, and as far as you know, it's still sitting in that basin pouring out water.
Okay.
Orsa, could you go back in and fetch it?
Are the chairs on top of the sand or buried?
The chairs have appeared on top of the sand. You guys are buried down to like your knees or so.
Can I pull myself out and up onto this chair?
Yeah, after a few moments, you work your boots up and out. You climb up, and you are now reclining on a comfortable beach chair.
What's the light like in here now?
It's wherever you guys left it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was still kind of dim light.
We still have water breathing, so Jeannie's gonna go into the beach and wade down
Alright.
to the.
I need an athletics check, please.
That is a 11.
11. You would have to swim against the current, the waves. And 11's just not going to do it. So you get out about 10 feet, and then you find yourself rolled back again, knocked prone on the beach.
Orson, please go fetch the decanter. Or somebody else.
Does someone still have... Did you have a enhanced ability strength, Edmont?
I did not.
Thought I'd cast that, but that must have been an adventure or two ago, and I never written down, so...
Yeah. Right now I have your aid spell, the one that
Oh,
gives
okay.
extra hit points.
Edmont, have you also climbed onto one of these beach chairs?
I have.
Edmont and Ekon, roll to relax.
Yep. Is that percentile?
You know what? It's whatever you need it to be, man. It's relaxation.
Make the 10s metal.
20. 20 on a d20, sure.
You just crit relaxation. Good job.
Wow, that's like you chilling good.
71% relaxed.
Like a margarita just appears in Edmont's hand.
Beautiful.
It's like Adric's rolling the perch all that time ago.
Are you sending Orson to get the decanter?
Mm-hmm.
So I need a
Oh,
strength.
wait, can we see it from here?
No, because you've got rolling ocean waves coming in.
Okay.
Someone has to actually swim out
Sea
there.
foam and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oof. That's I rolled worse than. Like I rolled a 10.
So yeah, no. Orson also gets rolled back from the waves.
How much space is there between the waves and the ceiling?
Probably a good 15 or 20 feet or so.
Ekon will fly out with his boots flying and see if we can see the decanter to scoop it up with Mage Hand.
Yeah, you can grab it with Mage Hand.
Okay. And then Ekon telekinetically returns it to Victor.
I mean, you're feeling very resentful that you had to get up off of your beach chair.
I know. I was pretty relaxed.
So you return
So
the decanter
Are
to
the
Victor.
walls still here? It's just like if
Yeah, the walls are still there and they're still solid.
Okay.
It's just from somewhere ocean water is rolling in.
Any change to the animal noises?
No, you still hear seagulls about, but you don't see any of them.
I may have trapped us forever in this room, and I apologize. This is
Well, I
how the
mean, there's
campaign is.
still another lounge chair at least.
Fine.
There's chairs enough for everyone. I only just drew those three on the map.
Oh,
Jeannie sits in a chair.
outing.
Maybe everybody's got to relax.
You all find yourself very relaxed indeed. What's next?
Brother, can you upset the basin to empty it?
all I have with me, I don't think I brought any water manipulation today.
Maybe your telekinesis could push it to one side and dump it out.
Water's pretty heavy. That's probably outside of my limit.
Okay.
All right. Well, Jeannie's gonna you know what? I'm gonna go for it again. And this time she flies over to the basin
Okay.
and she cannonballs into the water.
With a mighty splash. Give me a strength athletics check.
Yeah.
Actually, you can make this at advantage because you have the basin to grab onto.
Okay. That is it's It's a 20. Dirty.
So, grabbing onto the edge of the basin, you are definitely feeling this rush of salt water coming up out of the basin and into the room. So your goal now is to try to, dislodge it and overturn it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is not a thing I was counting on anybody to try.
This was not my idea.
Give me another... Well, are you using a tool or a class feature, or are you just trying to grab it and rock it off? Like, how are we doing this?
Could use a crowbar.
Okay. Give me a strength check. Advantage and disadvantage cancel out here.
8.
8.
Is this thing attached? Like, is it's heavy, but like, does it have any play?
It does have a little bit, but you're not strong enough to make any use out of it.
Okay, hold
You
on.
find a spot where you can get the crowbar back there and get a little bit of leverage, but that's about it.
All right. Genie will then. I'm gonna vortex warp it if I can vortex warp objects. Hold on. Just trying to find the spell.
When all you have is a
Another
hammer,
creature.
everything looks like a vortex warp.
It is just creatures. Okay. No, it's just creatures.
It is not a creature.
Yeah. I just opened the stream and saw the turtle again. Oh my god. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna levitate it.
Okay.
So I levitate it 20 feet into the air.
How much weight can you levitate at once?
500 pounds.
This is where I'm going to have to employ ChatGPT to find the answer to a question.
I think what you're actually looking for is Wolfram Alpha, not ChatGPT. If you want to know how much water weighs.
ChatGPT knows everything.
No, it doesn't. It has no selection bias for truth or correctness.
I don't need truth or correctness. I just need confidence.
Oh, you got me there, Brick. You have chosen the tool for the job.
So it says about 7.8 thousand pounds for this much water. A 5 by 5 by 5 cube of water weighs about. It's approximately 3.5 thousand liters and weighs 7.8 thousand pounds. So you cannot telekinetically move a bowl of that much water.
Okay. Well. Is there anything else underwater besides the basin?
Just the basin.
Just the basin.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, Ekon or Edmont starts digging in the sand a little bit with his boot,
Okay.
trying to see how deep this pretty wet sand is.
What space are you doing this on?
Probably just off next to the chair where I was sitting.
I mean, it's beach sand.
Yeah, so it's pretty easy to dig, I would imagine.
I mean, I know you're from Utah. I'm not sure if you've ever seen a beach before.
I'm not from Utah, you.
I
Why is it that Utah
I
from
didn't know that
Utah?
until now. I still don't know if you've ever seen a beach before. Like, that question remains unanswered.
Yes, Brickroad, I can confirm I have seen a beach and been to a beach before.
I haven't seen a beach in 15 years, and I live in Florida, so.
Well, I lived in Pensacola, so
Oh, okay.
beach exists there.
Yeah, no, I live 10 minutes away from one of the most beautiful beaches in America, and I haven't seen it in 15 years.
That's on you, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Edmont he's digging around looking for just to see if there's any how deep a hole he can dig for the moment.
Yeah, and it's no difficult from digging in beach sand. You need the ideal tool for the job is a small dollar store plastic shovel. Like,
Yeah, I don't
Which
have
you
that,
don't have.
unfortunately.
Victor will hand him an actual shovel for digging things from his backpack.
not the ideal tool for digging in beach sand, but no, you make it work. You can, and yeah, when you dig down, there doesn't seem to be anything preventing you from doing so. The bigger hole you dig, the more likely it is to collapse in on top of you.
I probably don't want to go any deeper than like 2 or 3 feet then.
Yeah, you can get down 2 or 3 feet, and you've got this little pile of sand all around you.
Yeah, Victor will build sandcastles out of that pile.
So yeah, you're shoveling sand over into Victor, and Victor's arranging it into a nice little castle. He accidentally builds Castle Ravenloft, and Strahd walks out of it.
The tiny sand Strahd.
Tiny little straw made out of sand. I love it.
Just reaches up and shakes his fist.
You've been trying to put sand into the basin and it hasn't worked.
Oh, we haven't tried that.
They hadn't tried that yet. You got a bucket we can move sand over to there?
Yeah, you can just put it in the shovel and carry the shovel over.
Again, the ideal tool would be a dollar store plastic bucket with a little rope on it.
I kind of, get about 20 pounds worth of sand into some sort of container and telekinetic it over to Genie.
Okay.
We're still just out here.
You're holding a bucket full of sand.
Okay.
Drop it into the basin and see what happens.
I'm going to put the beach sand in the basin.
Okay. And now there is a quantity of sand in the basin. And as the basin begins to fill up, you realize that the water level has dropped a small amount, and the waves seem to be getting weaker.
More sand.
Than that. Yep. Okay, I'll send some more over.
So you guys repeating this process?
Yeah.
Yeah, until the basin's filled. Well, until the waves are down, at least.
By the time the basin reaches about halfway full, the water is no longer deep enough to completely cover your head. This is the point where you could wade out against the currents all the way to the back wall of the room without submerging yourself. However, nothing is happening with the actual sand level. You're only reducing the level of sand in the room by the amount that you're putting into the bucket with each attempt.
So the door is still covered, right?
Yes.
Genie is going to start pulling sand out. Like, she's going to pull it back into the bucket.
Okay.
And see if the sand level changes.
As
or the water level changes.
As you remove sand from the basin, after one or two applications of this, you are noticing the water level is rising. And if you do it much more, it's going to require strength checks, or Edmont's going to go flying to the back of the room.
Right. Just like once or twice, just to see.
Okay. I could see Edmont like parasailing out there. Like, that'd be fun.
Parasailing in a 15-foot wide ocean.
Yeah, you're basically in a wave pool.
We need what we need, right?
Apparently, wave pools are stunningly deadly. Like, lots of people drown in wave pools. It's amazing.
The closest I've ever come to dying it's been in a wave pool.
Wow. It's a great statistic to have on hand. Yeah, I could see Edmont out in the wave pool with a boogie board.
It's the sunglasses.
Right.
It just fits the beach
absolutely
vibe.
The sunglasses.
It's the beach vibe. Do I keep filling it up?
You think if we get rid of all the water first?
No, maybe if we... I can't. I'm kind of stumped about what we do next.
Oh, what if we take the can we take the water out of the basin?
You could if you lowered the water level enough that it wouldn't kind of be self-filling at that point. Then you could try to leave yourself with an empty basin.
Yeah, let's try that.
So you're shoveling sand into the basin until the water level retracts, and then you're going to shovel the sand out of the basin to leave it empty?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. This process takes a good 10 or 15 minutes at least, because you're not using the appropriate plastic shovel and bucket.
Well, if he gave us a plastic shovel and bucket, then maybe we could get it done faster.
This is actually true. The only time in any printed, official D&D material I've ever seen plastic mentioned is in the Baba Yaga room that Zook lost.
Oh.
That room had...
surprised barrier pieces.
It had credit cards in it. That's
right. It had a pile of credit cards in it.
Wow.
That are described as a pile of small rectangular objects of an unknown material that You cannot figure out the value of, and then in parentheses, these are credit cards.
I think there's plastic in Expedition to the Barrier Peaks.
Yeah, I
because-
would be really surprised if there's no plastic in Barrier Peaks, but there might not be.
Oh, I haven't read that, so maybe.
Okay.
Well, that's the one where like
Yeah.
they
you
were
get laser
cross
cannons.
cross promoting like another game, like a sci-fi game. So they had one of the ships from that crash land into Faerun or something.
Okay. Well, so
Did we
good news and
empty it
bad
out?
news.
Yeah.
After this work is done, the water has completely subsided. However, the sand is just where you left it. The sand remains in place.
All right, I guess we got to dig out.
Well, I think maybe.
Wait, Genie, can't you make a shovel? Can't you make tools?
I can make
Don't you have an
toolkit.
artificer thing that can make a toolkit? Could that be a shovel and pickaxe?
Oh, so question,
Yeah.
Rick Road, would a plastic shovel, like a plastic spade and plastic bucket, be considered a toolkit for the purposes of my?
A beach toolkit.
I'm going to assume that Genie doesn't know what plastic is. You guys can't have anything made out of plastic because you don't know that plastic exists.
About 10. 10's nice and light.
Answer
Sand
the
is
question. Answer the question, coward.
No, you cannot make a plastic shovel. You don't know that plastic exists. You have to go back to your world and invent plastic, and then you could do it. But you have to invent it the hard way first. It's like in an RPG where you have to visit a city before you're allowed to teleport there.
Right.
No, that makes sense.
So, I guess the big question is did dinosaurs exist, and are they now oil? Can we make petroleum-based plastics?
That is a question outside of the scope of this campaign.
Yes, it is. I guess we're gonna dig, right?
You have one
I
shovel.
think that it takes an hour for me to make tools.
You're going to take an hour?
So, remind me again how the dunes got made. What exactly did we do for that?
I took the where's the we have it. I took the water from you and filled the basin.
Okay, so what if we tried putting sand in the empty basin now that it's empty?
Yes, all the water went away, but the sand is still here.
But have we put sand in the empty basin now? There's no water in it.
No, but there's a pile of sand on the ground next to Jeannie because she just emptied the basin with it.
Well, I mean, sure, we could try. I'm gonna overflow the basin with sand.
Okay. Yeah, after another 10 to 15 minutes of work, you do that.
And it doesn't do anything.
Nope.
Okay.
I think we're working the wrong way. Maybe we need to bring the beach back, as it were.
Edmont's like, it's much less relaxing without the actual ocean here.
It's true.
And there was nothing else in the water other than the basin.
No, other than the basin, the room was empty until you made a beach out of it.
Uh-huh.
Well, now maybe there's something underneath the sand out here. I have no idea. Dig down here in this area.
You dig around in the little sand piles that Jeannie made. You find the stone floor of the room.
So there was no sand out here. It was just water, and then the sand is basically just this half
Correct.
of the room.
North of this blue line is where the sand...
And it's just bare
Appeared.
stone down here that was covered in water.
Correct.
Are there any? Victor's gonna investigate the basin thing to see if there's any writing or anything on it anywhere.
There is not.
I'm stumped. 100% stumped.
What if we just need to not overfill it, but fill it up normally, and then
We did that and nothing happened.
maybe we need to go thoroughly investigate the other room while this one's making full beach sounds, or go turn the music back on while this one's making beach sounds.
See if there's some fine drum music, like that steel drum music. Do 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 do.
Is the music any different now than it was before? Are the sounds any different now?
I thought we turned it off before
We
came in
did.
here.
So-
Yeah, we turned are the sounds in the room different now that we've screwed around with the basin further?
Listening carefully, the actual ocean sounds are much less vivid now that there's not an ocean there. It's retreated all the way back to its baseline.
I wonder if there's a way we can make it quiet.
I can tell Beldross to turn the music down the whole way.
I think it's already down to all.
Wasn't it turned off?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but we
turned
turned it off.
Tell Beldross to turn the music up and see if it does anything.
Sure.
I mean, he turns up the volume on the. What kind of music do you want?
Like 60s classic rock.
Also has not been invented yet. Genie's gonna have to invent the Beach Boys. Yeah, you guys cycle through a bunch of music, try it at different volumes, and after a few moments of experimenting, does not affect any change in the room.
Well, let's dig ourselves out, I guess.
Yeah.
Victor, you
I
pick up
am
your
one
shovel,
other-
start digging yourself out.
Yeah.
And after 10 or 15 minutes of work, you dig your way down to one of the doors.
Yeah, does the door open to let me out?
It does. Dug yourself a nice little tunnel.
Alright, so Victor's gonna thoroughly investigate the animal sound room.
There's nothing really to investigate. It is an unadorned room. There's no furnishings. You just hear the sounds of various animals in here.
Could we let the water? Could we keep the water going and let it flow into this room as well?
The water wasn't flowing up and onto the beach. It was ending at this blue line, which gave you a nice little shoreline to look at.
Could we dig a trench through the beach to lead it to this room?
Is that what you do?
Yeah, why not?
I'm
No,
posing.
it seems
I'm
like
posing
let's try it.
Yeah.
So you're looking at a good half hour of work or something. So you've got to shovel all the sand out of the basin, refill the basin with water to get the ocean back, and then go ahead and draw me out the trench that you're digging on the map. This is a not insignificant amount of work.
Something like this.
Okay.
Just dig this out to the floor.
Yeah, I'm going to call this about 40 minutes of work. And at the end of it, who's doing the physical labor? Let me ask that.
I'm pretty sure it's Orson.
I can split the.
Everyone
I can
else is
split
noodle
work with
arms.
Orson. Yeah, I can
There's
split
only-
the work with Orson.
There's only one shovel, I thought.
We could take turns.
Yeah, take turns, that kind of thing.
Okay. Edmont and Orson, give me Constitution saving throw. You can make this at advantage.
1 and a 2, excellent.
Nice.
That's a 5.
How'd Orson do?
An 8.
An 8. Both of you guys take a level of exhaustion from
Yep.
the physical labor.
Oh,
At the end, the water does indeed flow down the little trench that you dug. And it starts to flood into this room across the floor.
Does any of the animal sounds change?
Nope.
We just have made a mess, huh?
You just made a mess and incurred 2 levels of exhaustion. I was not expecting room number 8 to become my favorite room in this dungeon, but I think I love it now.
I'm very upset by this.
Remind me in the debriefing to explain what the trick in room number 8 was. It's
Please.
really funny. What's next?
Oh, we got to get to the debriefing first, which means we need to get through the rest of find the rest of these damn keys.
Take a breather from this room and go check the art gallery.
I'm going to go into the art gallery. You guys have cut
Yeah.
down all of the actual art, haven't you?
Yeah. Jeannie has them in her pack.
Except for the statue in the back of the hall depicting Ekon standing upon the fallen Chrisen.
Yeah, we hadn't really taken a good thorough look at this yet, so.
Who you guys hated so much you wouldn't even let him become a Dark Lord. Like, can't even have that.
Sorry, I looked at the back of this. I'm gonna okay, I have an idea. I am going to try and stand in the exact position that Orson, get over here. Orson, stand the way Kristen's standing. I'll stand the way I'm standing. People look at the statue and see if there's any like distinct mistakes made with it, like intentional mistakes.
So, like, I want everybody to notice how we're treating Orson, he is going to murder us when we get out of this dungeon.
You didn't abuse your younger cousins like this as a kid? Horse is getting off easy.
I was the younger cousin.
Oh no, I'm the oldest.
So yeah, you can position Orson down on the floor. Ekon
Also,
has his boot up on his back, doing a Captain Morgan pose.
Also, I'm pretty sure you and Orson are the same age.
I'm a little older, I think. I think I'm a couple of months older.
I'm looking back and forth to the statue and then to my brother.
Yeah, and after a moment, you like motion, like move Ekon's shoulder this way. You move Orson's head a little closer to the floor. You get him striking a good pose, and you man, I wish Genie had invented cell phones. This would be a great selfie.
Is anything remarkably different on this between the statue and the players?
I mean, there's differences in that Ekon's not dressed exactly the same way as he would be in the
How
statue.
is Ekon dressed in the statue?
I mean, he's wearing his armor and such, but getting the clothes positioned exactly right. There's going to be like minor differences. And then, of course, Orson is not christened, which is the biggest difference.
I'm going to help Orson up.
For purposes of like a newspaper comic, like spot the 6 differences, there's nothing. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, your statue's too big to fit in your bag of holding.
We're just going to make a thorough check of the different hallways.
And all the hallways end. You guys have stolen all the artwork from the gallery. You got all of it.
It's no secret passages or hidden doors.
There's one of Genie sitting alone on a tree stump crying. There's one of Evie marrying Azel and Rex. There's one of Edmont enjoying 2 werewolf gentlemen. There's one of Victor and the Vistani. There's one of all of your townfolk back in Silverbow being turned out by the Loop Guru. There's one of wrecked, torn apart Vistani families. There is one of Victor Mordenheim decapitated. And then there's the rotting corpse of the Squelcher Lord. So you guys are going to have an excellent art gallery winning if you get home.
So
Yeah, no, good.
the ones in the southern, like all of this is victory, right? Except for the one of Genie crying, and there's a couple. I don't know. It's like there's a few of them that don't like meet. Like so, there's the one where all the villages are killed by the Loop Guru, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't. The rest of them are like victories, right? Like the statue's a victory. This is a victory. Like even like these are all like, and the other ones are like these 3 are like sexual conquests.
That does make some amount of sense.
There are 2, possibly 3. Repeat the other 3 that are the villagers. Victor Mordenheim decapitated, and what?
There was the Vistani families that you guys negotiated, having been torn apart, and the rotting corpse of the Squelcher Lord.
Okay,
That-
so
the Vistani family, that wasn't like they weren't our enemy. They were allies of a sort. Because Kolyan was with them. And she and they helped us.
yeah, so it's the death of our allies and enemies.
Everyone dies. Seems to generally be the theme.
Because we're all made of meat. Genie whispers.
No, you're not. Meat has blood.
But how does that square with the other art of the more scandalous nature? I don't.
Is there anything like on the back? There is like
On the
These
back
are like-
walls? Because you've torn all the canvas down.
no. I'm looking at the canvases. I'm
Okay.
I'm scrutinizing each one for details.
Okay.
Anything that jumps out at me as, you know,
Just the phrase vividarium et intervigilium et viator.
I get that reference.
No, there's nothing on the backs of the canvas.
Ekon's gonna go to one of the alcoves where the canvases were originally hanging, and he's gonna like thoroughly investigate, like tap against the walls, see if there's any hollow passages behind it, and just kind of do a thorough search of one of these alcoves and see if there's anything there now that the canvas has been removed.
Each one of the alcoves has the ruined frame apparatus in the wall, but the walls behind seem solid, and you don't find any markings, writings.
Are the frames hanging, or are they like mounted, like more substantially?
They were mounted more substantially because Victor had to actually cut the canvas out of each frame.
Okay.
But no, you don't find any mechanisms or any secret doors or anything.
But these are all in the style of Edmont.
They're all in my art.
More or less, except you do
wait.
not see a man with a straw hat.
That's what I was about to ask. Edmont, what if you paint a man with a straw hat to each of them?
Do you want to try painting on one of the paintings?
I certainly can try.
What if we need to complete what's actually missing in this room?
Which painting do you select, Edmont?
Jeannie is going to she's going to pull out the painting of the herself and says, "Can you paint me? Can you paint all of us together?"
Paint in there, but it would still be of you sad. You're saying that you would want to be sad while even with the rest of us here with you.
Jeannie looks at you very solemnly and she says, "I can think of no better time to be sad than when I'm surrounded by all my family to comfort me."
That's an interesting way to put it, and I'll do my best.
So what do you paint on the canvas?
Edmont will paint representations of himself, of Ekon, of Victor, of Orson on the canvas. Kind of like not to the foreground, but to background, like from the view of the canvas of the rest of us facing her in the background.
Okay.
With expressions of support of
How long do you spend doing this task? Because I mean, this kind of painting would take hours if you're looking to do it properly.
Let's spend an hour on it.
Okay. What's everybody else doing in that hour?
Ekon's just gonna watch his brother paint.
Okay.
And I think Chris exploded.
We're getting mad thunderstorms in Florida right now. Actually,
yeah, Chris exploded.
He said he'd be right back. He's waiting for his router to reset.
Yeah. I actually haven't. I got rained on twice yesterday. I left the house twice. Both times I waited for the rain to stop. And then as soon as I left the house, I got poured on. It happened twice.
Good job.
Didn't happen the whole rest of the day. Welcome to Florida. Anyway.
No,
Florida
we
man
just
gets
left
rained on is
Florida.
not news. So you spend an hour and you paint on this canvas as best as you can.
Mm-hmm.
That happens.
Try hanging it back in the gallery.
Okay.
I mean, it's been cut from the frame.
Can I cast mending along the cuts to restore it to where it was?
Yeah, mending would put it back in place, hanging back up on the wall. So now you have this gorgeous painting of Jeannie, sad in the foreground, sitting on a tree stump, and then kind of stick figure depictions of the rest of you in the background looking on.
I don't think they'd be stick figures. I think they'd probably just be... Unless you think stick figures are funnier.
Well,
I mean, an hour to paint 4 people into a frame is not a lot of time.
Yeah, no.
So as a proof of concept, it works fine, but as an actual piece of art, you've just ruined it, kind of.
I mean, I could probably spend a couple more hours to make it better, make it more representative of us, but
But it affects no change in the gallery or in the room.
Hmm.
I am super stumped.
I wonder if we put all the artwork back and do something.
Is there did the Straw Hat Man show up in that painting?
Not unless Edmont drew him.
Not consciously, no. Do you want me to try putting the Straw Hat Man in there?
I mean, my original thought was to paint Straw Hat Man onto each of these because that's like what's missing, what's wrong, and that it's not wrong.
Do you have... Okay. Jeannie will pull out the decapitated body of Victra painting, and she'll hand it to she'll hand it to you and say, draw him as best you can. We'll wait.
Okay. I mean, the rest of y'all probably get short rests in if Edmont is going to be doing this. Just
Remember
so you
that
know.
short rests will incur a check in this dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
So how many of you are taking a short rest while Edmont is painting the second canvas?
I'm pretty good on resources.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
Like a short rest won't really help me.
Okay.
Okay. All right then.
So Edmont, you paint the Straw Hat Man into the picture of Victor Mordenheim. I guess it's up to personal taste whether or not that improves the already grisly artwork.
I
want when I do the art, I want to strongly imply that it was the Straw Hat Man who cut her head.
Okay. And you think that you've it looks more like you've painted graffiti onto a painting, but it definitely gets the point across. Then what?
I think I want to proceed and do the same with the rest of them at this because honestly this artwork it's done as though with my hand, but it is not mine.
So you want to put the Straw Hat Man in all 8 paintings?
Yeah.
That's going to take about 8 hours. Unless you really just want to very quickly sketch with like a charcoal brush or something.
I think that's what I want to do. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, over the course of the next hour, you just sketch Straw Hat Man into each of them. And are you going around and mending all of the frames?
That's up to people with mending.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. The art gallery is back in the way that you first discovered it, except now all of the paintings have been defaced with this bizarre straw hat individual.
There's only one other piece of art that I don't really know how to handle, and that's the statue here. So I'm not a sculptor.
Maybe we break it, right? We just break it. It's like a solid gold. Is it a solid gold statue? Like it's metal?
It's stone.
It's stone?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. We could break this. I mean, like,
Don't really have much in the way of that. I could probably kick it. I don't have.
No, we just hit it with a
Magic.
crowbar, right?
No, with
Although
some
you need,
determination and tools, you could definitely break a stone statue, yes.
Yep.
So who's doing it is the question.
Or we can all take a step back and Jeannie can shatter it.
You could do that.
Yeah, sure. Third level shatter.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage on that.
All right.
The stone statue particularly brittle?
Probably not.
It does. It gets a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
It's
That
a
is
statue, so
40
it fails.
48. Two more. I'm gonna use a charge of the earring.
Oh, you're going for a big boy shatter.
Yeah.
Can I? Hold on. I can only use on one dice at the time. I can't.
Yeah.
Can't
So I can only
use-
do it the same with the hyper wrist. Yeah.
Yeah, one dice is spell damage. 26 points of thunder damage.
So you put a crack up the base of the statue, and partway up Ekon's body, Kristen's head comes dislodged and rolls off. Some of the extremities, some of the arms fall apart. The faces are unrecognizable by any conceivable metric. The statue is destroyed.
Cool.
Well, therapeutic. That was. I don't know that accomplished much.
Do you feel better?
Much.
I guess let's check some.
10 is more statues?
No, 10 is the lewd paintings.
Yeah, 10 is
Right.
the Southern Art Gallery, and 11 is the North Art Gallery. Okay, so what's next?
Yeah.
Let's see. 12 we've solved. We killed the reflections, but we didn't like solve anything. I
No,
think
there
we
was-
got a clue from one of them, right?
Yeah, there
Yeah,
was
we
something
did get a
behind the
clue.
mirror at 14. 15 and 16 didn't have anything.
Wait, you know what? Hold on. Stop. The
Mhm.
clue. The clue. Do you hear music? Do you hear silence?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you tab? I missed it.
Yeah.
No, the room that says silence.
Huh.
This entire
right.
this entire
23.
section here is silence.
Yeah, we haven't gone to the vibrating desk area again yet.
Yeah.
Or this whole south section. Let's go check that area out.
Okay.
And we got 2 fountains with empty
Roll
basins.
initiative.
Oh, okay.
Where do we go before we roll initiative? Like where should we?
Nowhere. You roll initiative
Oh.
right where you are.
Oh, okay.
Okay then.
I don't want to use yellow for this, I don't think.
Is it Strahd? Has Strahd come?
Yeah, Strahd's here. Sorry.
It's Strahd. We did a Strahd.
We did a Strahd. When I ran Curse of Strahd, I used a big initiative board, like a big whiteboard, and I put Strahd on the counter every single time. Yeah, when Orson pulls back the curtain leading out into the hallway, a man wearing a straw hat and wielding a sickle is standing there.
God damn it, Edmont.
And you are all surprised.
Ah. I see.
I can see all targets. That's fun. And Beldross is in the other room, so he's not even here. Okay, so I'm going to need... Genie, Ekon, and Orson each roll me a d10 in that order.
Okay, Genie rolled an. Oh, that's not a D10. That was a D8. That is a 7.
7. Okay, now Ekon.
Ekon got another 8.
Got an. So you both got 8s?
Yep.
And
I got a
Orson-
7.
So 7,
sorry.
7 and 8, and then Orson
5.
a 5. All right. Genie.
Yep.
I need a wisdom saving throw. DC is 17.
Can I even make wisdom saving throw +1? Okay. All right. That is a 15.
A 15.
Uh-huh.
You fall unconscious for 1 minute.
Okay.
Ekon.
0 HP.
No,
Or-
so asleep.
Okay.
Unconscious. Ekon, I need a dexterity saving throw. DC is 17.
That is a dex save of 12.
Of 12. You are restrained
Mhm.
as your body begins turning to stone. Orson, I need a DC 17 Constitution saving throw.
All right. No.
No. How many D8s do I need here? $34 points of necrotic damage.
All right.
As you pull the curtain aside, the man in the straw hat is standing there and lifts his head up. For the first time, Edmont, you look at the thing's face, and underneath the hat, it doesn't have a head or a face at all. It has a skull floating atop, just a bare neck hole, a fanged, inhuman mouth, and this terrible cycloptic eye hole in the center glowing with necrotic light that starts blasting your friends and family with eye beams.
Don't like that.
So that's the surprise takes us to the bottom of the order. Now we're back at the top. Who's at the top of my order?
At the top, we've got Edmont at 19.
Edmont. Right now, Jeannie has fallen asleep, and you see that your brother is beginning to turn to stone.
Select
I can't-
petrify.
Best I could try to do is yeah, Edmont's going to close and attack the Straw Hat Man
Okay.
with his whip. I have a 22 to hit.
That will hit. I have toned this monster down considerably.
Looking at 12 points slashing damage.
That's a magical whip, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a 15 to hit.
15 will hit.
13 points slashing damage.
Alrighty. And moving or staying put?
You know what? I'm going to step back and martial arts. I'm going to kick Genie.
Okay.
So you're gonna automatically crit.
Yeah, it's a hit roll. No,
Yep.
you're attacking. And if you
Trying to
do
wake
hit,
her up.
you automatically crit.
That's a 25 to hit, so.
All right. Well, now I'm unconscious. For real.
Really? You were that low on health?
I have no. I'm good. I am low on health, but I'm not unconscious.
That's 18 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
As you give Genie. I will allow you to not auto crit if you don't. Like, this is.
I do not want to auto crit Genie.
That's fine.
Then let's
Close your eyes so you have disadvantage on the attack.
I'm not going to force you to curb stomp your cousin to death.
That's going to knock it down to 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right. So,
Actually,
yeah.
can't you choose can you choose to do your a regular non-martial arts unarmed attack?
He could, but that's not what he chose to do.
Yeah.
He chose in fact,
Unfortunately, that's the way with the martial arts. Yeah.
I'm going to assume that he can't do that because the bonus act that's his martial arts class feature, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
That's
so-
martial arts.
I
class
guess to take
feature.
a martial arts attack.
All right. Tell me how much damage I'm taking.
10 bludgeoning damage.
All right.
So, yeah, Gene, that's
28
the-
hit points.
Rudest awakening you've ever had in your life.
But you're awake, and that's what I was going for.
So you're awake and prone on the floor. Who's next?
Orson with orange on deck.
Orson is going to step forward here to not block the path out.
Okay.
And he is going to... Attack number 1.
Yep.
22 to hit.
That'll hit.
I was hitting with a 15.
That is the wrong dice. I have done that. It's the second time. 7 points. Magical piercing.
Okay.
Second hit is a 24
Also hits.
for 8 points. And then the butt is not what he's doing. He is going to second wind, which is a d10 plus his level. He is level 11.
Chris is struggling.
So, okay, 15 hit. He restores... Orson gets back 15 hit points.
Okay. And is
So
he
that
staying put there?
Yeah, apparently.
He's going to move here, actually.
So
Lock
step back.
entrance.
Is anybody holding this curtain open?
Oh, well, if the curtain has to be held open, then Orson's, like, fighting in the...
So Orson's job is he's got to decide which side of this curtain he's on, because this curtain kind of bisects this square, and if he's holding it open.
Yeah, he's holding it open.
But which side of the curtain is he standing on? Outside or inside?
Outside.
Okay, so he's fine right where he is then. The difference is that you all can see the creature on the other side of the curtain if Orson's holding it open.
Yeah.
And I heard
Got
fist.
orange with genie.
Orange with genie. This is less fun for me. Genie and Edmont.
Sure.
Please roll me a d10.
Oh, man.
Oh, goody. It's one of these.
2.
2.
Same.
Same. Genie.
Yes.
I need a Constitution saving throw. DC is 17.
I passed.
All right. Then nothing happens. And Edmont, it cannot fire the same eye laser twice in a row.
Awesome.
It selected the same target twice and the same eye laser twice, so it lost 2 eye lasers.
Good.
I mean, if you want me to run the monster by the book, just let me know. It gets a lot stronger.
No.
Okay. So yeah, Genie, you feel as you're like trying to pick yourself up off the ground, like you feel your muscles tense up and seize for a moment, but then the effect fades away and passes. The creature is going to attempt to sickle Orson. I have a 20 to hit Orson.
That does not hit Orson.
All right, and the sickle does not impact Orson. Who's next?
We've got Genie with Victor.
Genie,
what
what
did you do?
I don't know. I must have had Orson selected for when I was moving him around. Genie stands up, and then she looks Edmont dead in the eye from her bloody lip where he kicked her, and then
Sorry.
she touches him and says, whatever the Renaissance era equivalent of "Let's go nuclear" is, and she casts haste on him. 5, 10, 15, and she moves over here to get out of sight of the monster.
Duly noted.
Remember that Edmont and Orson each have a level of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Doesn't affect attack roll right now, but that's...
No, it's 2 levels starts affecting attack rolls, I believe. Then you duck back into the alcove.
Yep.
I need to make sure that none of you guys are sitting underneath the turtle that's spinning for whatever reason. All right. Who's next?
We've got Ekon with...
No,
we've
Victor.
got Victor with Ekon.
Victor's gonna glare at Edmont for causing this mess.
Yeah, this is all Edmont's fault, surely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and Orson's next to the guy, so that helps. So Victor's gonna attack him with a psionic knife. See if it does anything. I wish I crit out a 19. Does a 29 hit?
Yeah, sure does.
Okay.
You say that every time you roll a 19.
His next character is going to be a champion fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the way you're rolling, you probably want to do that.
Champion fighter is so good. Highly recommended. Really enjoyed it. I will be importing my champion fighter character into Flumph 6. You guys will get to meet him.
That's going to be 29 points of psionic damage.
Oh, I need to open up calc.exe. Or should I just ask ChatGPT and get the wrong answer? Yeah, Victor, you're throw your sonic knife out. Seem to have full effects. Are you moving or staying put?
We're gonna, I guess, offhand attack. Yeah, we'll offhand attack.
Okay.
Is a 14 hit?
A 14 does not hit.
Okay. We're gonna move. Taking a lesson from Jeannie's intelligent decision making.
Okay. And who's next?
Ekon. So Ekon's starting his turn?
At the end of your turn, you're going to repeat that saving throw.
Actually, I'm going to cast Greater Restoration on myself and remove one effect that petrifies the target.
Probably a good move. So you remove the petrification effect, and you are no longer restrained.
So, Ekon, 5th level slot. Ekon reaches into his pack, pulls out a pinch of diamond dust, speaks a magical word with his staff, and is no longer restrained. I've still got movement and a bonus action. I don't think there's anything too useful with either of those. Just let me look. Can't cast another leveled spell. I think I'll also break line of sight.
Okay.
So Ekon, we've got Edmont with Orson.
So Edmont is hasted, which means what exactly?
I pasted it in the chat for him.
Yep. Speed is doubled, +2 to AC, advantage on dex saving throws, an additional action during each of my turns.
So an additional full action.
Yep.
It can only it's a limit. It used to do attack, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object.
Right, but when he takes the attack action, he gets 2 attacks.
Yes.
Correct? Like it specifies he gets to take the attack action,
one weapon
not
attack only.
One weapon attack. Okay, so he gets 1 extra weapon attack with haste. Got it.
And I think my normal action for that is probably going to be turning into a werewolf.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to close. And
You get a howl, or else you don't transform.
a woo, etc.
Wow, that was the worst howling.
Ooh woo.
Treble, you're blocked. And then I will attack. That is a 25 to hit.
That'll hit.
Yeah, I'm going full hard. This is I'm gonna bite the snot out of this thing. So this is gonna be a lot of damage.
I should hope so.
You're looking at 17 piercing damage.
Okay.
And I don't know what this is. Borrowing some of Chris's dice. 14 necrotic damage.
Okay.
As I pounce on Mr. Straw Hat Man.
And the thing is bloodied. So as you're tearing into its body is actually just stuffed with straw. And the real thing that needs to take damage is the floating head part. Wearing the actual hat.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's going to end my turn.
Fully effective, and the thing is bloodied now. Who's next?
We've got Orson with Orange on deck.
All right. Spear 1. 25.
That'll hit.
10 points.
Okay.
Spear 2 is a crit.
Woo.
Good job.
I mean, it's just D6, 2d6, so it's not like...
I mean, it adds up.
Right, that is...
It erodes the strength of the monster.
14.
14 damage?
Yep.
Okay.
And the butt is a 16.
It does hit.
For 8 points.
Okay. And is Orson moving or staying put?
Orson's staying right here.
As he gets in there with the butt.
Got Orange with Genie.
That's
So-
2 targets.
I have 4 targets, because as far as I can tell, Genie and Victor are both standing in line of sight of this creature. Because I can draw a straight line from the corner of its square to the corner of both of yours. So, Let's roll it. Only
Uh,
Ekon got completely out of the way.
I did.
Tried.
No, I need a D10.
So I need Victor, Genie, and Edmont to please roll D10s.
That's a 3 on Victor.
3 for Victor,
5.
5 for Genie.
10 for Edmont.
Don't want to roll a 10. Oof.
Well, I did.
Victor, I need a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw, please.
You're funny. You know what?
Oh, look, I have 6 blips.
Yeah, I got some blips.
You're gonna cash in blips. I didn't open up my D&D spreadsheet today. I had a nagging feeling that some of my prep work was not done, and this is it. Oh no, the most recent spreadsheet I've opened up is Theatrhythm Final Bar Line Helper version 1. All right, so Victor, you failed the save, but you want to cash in some blips?
Well, let me roll the save first.
Well, yeah, roll the save. You might pass. You don't know.
Nah,
Pretty
only
good.
only a 15. Not good enough.
I'm not gonna pass. No. So you're gonna cash in 2 blips to reroll or 4 blips to succeed.
We can do 4 blips to succeed.
Okay.
It's the last session, right?
I think Destil has done the math and has scientifically proven, or mathematically proven, it's better to just do the 4 blips.
Genie,
Yeah.
you need to make a DC 17 Constitution saving throw, please.
I'm also going to just use 4 blips,
Okay.
so I'm down to 2.
Big numbers. 45 points of necrotic damage, which you can cut in half for passing the save.
Holy crap!
That's a lot of number.
45 minus. That's.
22.
22.
I have 6 hit points left.
Edmont,
You don't have 0.
I need a DC 17 Dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
Pass.
Pass.
So I do want to roll a 10.
This is not even half damage on a success. So,
I mean, he has evasion, so.
Yeah, I do.
evasion would not avail him here because evasion is only if you pass, but you would still take damage. You take 0 damage. This you take 0 damage on a pass no matter what. As Edmont dodges the death ray. My man goes full on Avada Kedavra on you, or however that's pronounced. Genie, the ray that hit you is not a death ray, but it is just a lot of stupid damage. And Victor shrugged off the fear ray. And then the thing can make an attack. I'm going to assume that Edmont has fewer hit points than Orson does.
It's probably a logical assumption.
Edmondo, I have a 22 to hit you.
You got me.
Feels good to hit a target.
I feel like, actually, Orson probably has less hit points, but is harder to hit.
Edmont, 15 points of slashing damage from the sickle.
Owie.
As the thing blasts eye lasers into the room, then swings around with the sickle and chops you in half. And that's the end of its turn.
Edmont is bloodied.
Who's next?
Next up, we've got Genie with Victor.
Well, if he can see me, that means I can see him.
Yep.
Which means...
That's the rule that I use. If you can draw a straight line from the corner of your square to the corner of the target square without going through an obstruction.
Right.
Which that might also just be the literal rule from
Yeah, I
the
think that's the
DMG,
rule.
now that I'm thinking about it.
But it might also be from a different edition, because I can never keep anything straight.
It's like if you only draw from one corner, you give them partial cover if applicable. And if you can draw from 3 corners, you've got full light. Something like that.
I'm going to use a 4th level spell slot here, I'm pretty sure, but I like this. I just have to look up Wall of Fire.
Oh, we're going to burn Edmont and Orson in the Wall of Fire?
Maybe.
This is a pretty narrow hallway. I don't see how you get wall of fire in there without burning us too.
60. Well, I mean, I could make the wall like as narrow as a foot thick.
Yeah, but it burns for 10 feet out in front of it. in the
burn-
direction it's facing.
Right. Yeah. So I just put it between them. Yeah. Okay. You're right. I guess I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to shoot a firebolt at him.
Okay.
It's going to be boring.
I'm going to afford it partial coverage. You're shooting through Edmont.
Okay. That is a. I rolled a 19.
Okay. 19 will hit.
Okay. D10, 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 D8.
That's a good song. I enjoyed that.
That
That's
is
some numbers right there.
And I'm going to use a charge of the
Earring.
earring. So that is 32 points of fire damage
Holy crap, dude. Calm down.
from a cantrip.
Yeah, he's looking pretty bad now. That was-
And then Genie is going to limp behind Ekon and just kind of slump down and give him a thumbs up. You got this. She's just going to close her eyes.
Who's
Do I need
next?
to got this? I think Victor's up next.
Yeah, it looks like Victor's up next.
Yeah.
You sound like a man that's been swept away by a thunderstorm.
Are you gonna give me partial cover if I stay here, or give him partial cover?
You both have partial cover from each other, just he doesn't have anything that needs an attack roll, so it only benefits him.
All right. So if I go here, do I need partial cover, or here?
No, if you're out standing and out in the open of the room, you can fire between your two allies. No problem.
Okay.
Be a good time for a crit.
Yeah, 16's not a crit. Does
16's
26 hit?
That'll hit. I don't think you need a crit, to be honest. Still get the benefit of sneak attack here.
Uh, 35 points of damage.
Yeah, no, that's enough. As the terrible monster skeleton shatters into powder, the glowing cycloptic eye in the center of it evaporates. And once that happens, all of the straw falls to the ground, and the sickle clatters.
Do I take a level of exhaustion when haste wears off?
No, that was second edition.
No.
Actually, that was second edition aged you. So that was third edition.
Something does happen when it wears
Oh.
off.
For
Oh,
well,
you're
you can't.
done for a turn.
Yeah, you're.
Oh, I can't act. I can't act for a turn. So yeah.
Yeah, it's just a wave of lethargy.
Yep.
All right, well, that was fun. Let's go ahead and take a 15-minute break. If y'all want to go ahead and get a coffee, get a bagel. When we reconvene, are we going back down to the silence room? Is that what I heard next?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, let's take about 15 minutes. We'll reconvene at about 4:15.